Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तस्यारविन्दनयनस्य पदारविन्द किञ्जल्कमिश्रतुलसी मकरन्दवायो अन्तर्गतस्वविवरेण चकार तेषां संक्षोभमक्षरजुषामपि चित्ततन्वो नेहयत्कर्मधर्माय न विरागाय कल्पते न तीर्थपदसेवायै जीवनपि मृतो हि सः प्रसङ्गम् अजरं पाशम् आत्मनः कवयो विदु स एव साधुषु कृतो मोक्षद्वारम् अपावृतम् तितिक्षव कारुणिकाः सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवः साधुभूषणाः सतां प्रसङ्गान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायना कथा तज्जोषणादाशपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति हासं हरेरवनताखिललोकतीव्र शोकाश्रुसागरविशोषणमत्युदारम् सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमाययास्य भ्रूमण्डलं मुनिकृते मकरध्वजस्य मद्गुणश्रुतिमात्रेण मयि सर्वगुहाशये मनोगतिरविच्छिन्ना यथा गङ्गां वसोऽम्बुधौ लक्षणं भक्तियोगस्य निर्गुणस्य उदारितम् अहैतुक्यव्यवहिता या भक्ति पुरुषोत्तमे सालोक्यसारष्टिसामीप्य सारूप्यैकत्वमप्युत दीयमानं न गृह्णन्ति विना मत्सेवनं जनाः यन्नामधेयश्रवणानुकीर्तनात् यत्प्लवलनाद् यत्स्मरणादपि क्वचित् श्वादोऽपि सद्यः सवनाय कल्पते कुतः पुनस्ते भगवन्नुदर्शनात् अहो बतश्व पचतो गरीयान् यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम् ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुवु सस्नुरार्या ब्रह्मानुचुर्नाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Dear devotees, by the mercy of Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga, we are continuing our study of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 27, entitled Understanding the Material Nature, text 5 onwards. Again, this is Srimad Bhagavatam 3.27.5. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan Shri Kapil Dev Muni, is speaking to his mother, Shri Devoti Devi. Text 5. अत एव शनैश्चित्तं प्रसक्तम् असतां पथि भक्तियोगेन तीव्रेण विरक्त्या च नयेद वशम. Translation and purports by His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhagwan Shri Kapil Dev Muni is saying, it is the duty of every conditioned soul to engage his polluted consciousness, which is now attached to material consciousness, in very serious devotional service with detachment. Bhakti yogena tivrena viraktyacha. We have to engage in bhakti with tivrata while practicing detachment from matter to which we are very much attached. Thus, the mind and consciousness will be under full control. Ataeva means therefore, shanai, gradually, progressively, systematically, sequentially. Chittam, our consciousness, which is prasaktam, asatam, which is attached to asat. It has to be detached from asat and gradually, gradually, gradually increase our attachment to Sat Chidananda Vigraha Shri Krishna. That is called bhakti. From material consciousness, we have to gradually, progressively, but surely go towards Krishna consciousness. That is what Bhagwan Shri Kapil Dev is instructing all of us through his mother, Devahuti Devi. And this is the only way to purify the consciousness. Now, as I was reading today, the verses that we are going to cover, I realized that Srila Prabhupada's purports are very, very nectarian and they are very, very instructive. So, it means because Prabhupada in the purport is taking one word from this verse and explaining the meaning. So, it's really not possible for me to pick few things, summarize, skip as I normally do. So please bear with me. It will be a little slow, but let's really try to absorb and digest Srila Prabhupada's purports. The purpose of this Bhakti Vaibhava study is to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, not any paper certificate. At the end of our life, at the time of death, how much we have understood Srimad Bhagavatam, Janma Karma Chamadevam Evayo Vetti, how much we have understood Srimad Bhagavatam and how much we have tried to practice it in our life is what will count. We can have a wall full of certificates. I have done Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Sarvabhauma, this, that, Jaiva Dharma class. I have done this. So many books I have studied. Those certificates are just papers. Nothing is going to help in our Krishna consciousness. So let us really try to understand our ever well-wisher Srila Prabhupada's Vani in the purports. Please listen carefully, my dear friends. So Lord Kapil Dev is saying, Ata eva shanais chittam prasaktam asatam pathi bhakti yogena tivrena viraktyacha nayad vasham. Vasham means under control. If you want to control your mind, how many of us want to control the mind? है ना? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, mind uncontrolled is enemy. You are living with the enemy. Mind control is best friend. So we want to control the mind. Vasham, we have to bring it under control. Srila Rupa Goswami also says that Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jivha Vegam, Udarupastha Vegam, Etam Vegam, Yo Vishayata Dhira, Sarvam Apivam Prithvim Sa Shishya. So you have to control the mind. How to control the mind is being told here that Bhakti Yogena Tivrena Viraktyacha. If you think about this, which verse of Bhagavad Gita this verse refers to or parallels with? Chanchala hi mana Krishna. What does Krishna say? Can you show me where those two instructions are there in this verse? Same Bhagwan is speaking, Kapil Dev Muni. Abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena cha griyate. Look, abhyasena tu kaunteya is bhakti yogena tivrena. Abhyas means practicing with tivrata. What? Bhakti yoga. And vairagya nache griyate. Vairagya, virakti. Detachment and practicing attachment to Krishna, practicing doing things that please Krishna. So now see, Srila Prabhupada says, the process of liberation is very nicely explained in this verse. The cause of one's becoming conditioned by material nature is thinking himself to be the enjoyer, the proprietor, or the friend of all living entities. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says, our problem is that we think we are the enjoyers of the things of this material world. We are the proprietors of things of this material world and friend of all living entities. We think we can help all living entities. This false thinking is a result of contemplation on sense enjoyment. Dhyayato Vishaya Pumsa. When one thinks that he is the best friend to his countrymen, to society, to humanity, he engages in various nationalistic, philanthropic, and altruistic activities. Prabhupada says all that is just so much concentration on sense gratification. We may try to benefit them through philanthropic activities, welfare activities, and then we may think, I am their best friend, I am their well wisher. But actually, it is Krishna who is the well wisher. There is a famous story where once during the time of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in Sajjangarh near Satara, Swami Ramdas Samartha used to celebrate Ram Navami every year. And Shivaji Maharaj would send a large donation every year for the festival. He would send bullock carts filled with rice, grains, dal, so that things could be managed. He would send flowers, he would send ghee, he would send firewood, so many things. He would send mud pots, earthen pots for the festival, so many things Shivaji Maharaj would send every year so that the festival could be conducted nicely. And one time, one particular year, Shivaji Maharaj had gone for a war campaign and he was away from Maharashtra. And therefore, it slipped his mind that I have to send the donations for Ram Navami. He was fighting elsewhere. So the disciples of Swami Ramdas Samartha became concerned that Maharaj, Chhatrapati Maharaj is not there. Who is going to send donations? How Ram Navami will be celebrated? So with this anxiety, they went to their Gurudev, Shri Ramdas Samartha Maharaj. And he said, Swami Ramdas Samartha told the disciples that don't worry. Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, festival it is, Lord Ramachandra will take care of everything. And that is when he sat down on the mountain top and just spoke beautiful instructions to the mind. Here also we are learning how to control the mind. He spoke Manache Shlok to his disciple Kalyan, who wrote them down. 200 something, 205 or so, beautiful shlokas. And he told them that all of you memorize them and go to the nearby villages, stand at the door of every house and loudly say, Jai Jai Raghuveera Samartha. And then you slowly recite one verse. Let them hear. And then you wait for a few moments. If they give something, you accept, otherwise go to the next house. And this Manache Shlok were in simple Marathi that was spoken at that time. It was so nectarian. It affected the people's heart so much that simple villagers, they gave donations. They, Hare Krishna. Simple villagers, they opened their hearts and they gave donations of grains, ghee, this and that. And that year, the festival that was celebrated on Sajjangarh, where there is a temple of Sita Ram Lakshman Hanumanji, it was more opulent than all the other years when Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was sending donation. Just from simple donations collected from all the nearby villages. So then Shivaji Maharaj came to meet Swami Ramdas and said, I'm really sorry, I was in a war campaign. The Mughals had attacked and I was defending, I was fighting. It was a long campaign. The war campaign lasted longer than anticipated, and unfortunately, I had to spend Ram Navami also fighting on the front lines. So I'm very sorry I could not support the Ram Navami celebration this time. So, being the Gurudev, Swami Ramdas, he told Shivaji Maharaj, no problem. You are the king, you are the Palak. But I request you, you see that rock. Now, by this time, the Ram Navami was done. Ram Navami usually comes in the month of April. And in June, rain season starts, monsoon starts. In those days, it used to be quite regular. June, July, August, September, 4 months used to be monsoon. So by the time Shivaji Maharaj came, it was already June, July. And rainy season had started. It was raining everywhere. Swami Ramdas told Shivaji Maharaj, you see that huge boulder, that huge rock? I want you to move it with your own hands. Don't take help of the soldiers. I want you to move it with your own hands. So Shivaji Maharaj was very strong. So Shivaji Maharaj went and he pushed that rock, and the rock moved. And underneath the rock, there were many insects. In rainy season, there are insects everywhere. There were some small, small worms, insects, and they became exposed when the rock was moved. And then Swami Ramdas asked Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who is maintaining them? Did you even know that you had some citizens living under that rock? Who is maintaining them? That person who is maintaining those insects, that person who is maintaining the wild animals in the forest, that master is maintaining you and me also. Don't think that you are the maintainer. Don't think because you are the Chhatrapati, you are the king, you are the Palak, and you are the maintainer. Lord Ram is maintaining everybody. So here the same point Srila Prabhupada is saying, we think that we are the well-wishers of others. We think we are the benefactors of others. We think we are the maintainers of others. But this mentality is also born out of false ego, and we should give it up. What is the fact? The fact is that it is therefore recommended in this verse, Ata Eva, it is mentioned in this, it is recommended in this verse, therefore, that one engage very seriously in devotional service. This means that one should not think that I am the proprietor, benefactor, friend, or enjoyer. We should always think and know that Krishna is the enjoyer, Krishna is the benefactor, Krishna is the maintainer. Krishna is maintaining. If we think I am the friend, I am the benefiting this person, I am maintaining this person, we are also karta hamiti manyate, ahankar vimudhatma. We are also becoming infected with this false ahankar. In the second paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, as soon as one engages in such serious devotional service, bhakti yogena tivrena, when we practice bhakti yoga with tivrata, naturally the propensity to falsely claim lordship over material nature disappears. That detachment is called vairagya. So who can define vairagya? If there is a Buddhist or a Jain monk who is staying completely detached from sense enjoyment, can that person be said to be practicing vairagya? Look at the purport. As soon as one engages in serious devotional service to Lord Krishna, and we understand that Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram is Krishna, then the false claim of being the Lord of material nature disappears. This detachment is called Vairagya. Vairagya means detachment that is born out of attachment to Krishna. Hari Bol. This has to be understood. In the next paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, please listen very carefully now. One particular point mentioned in this verse is very significant, Prabhupada is saying. So we have to become very attentive. It is said here, prasaktam asatam pathi, second line. Ata eva shanais chittam prasaktam asatam pathi. Slowly our chitta, our consciousness, which is attached to asat, attached to material things. Prasaktam asatam pathi. Prasaktam means attached. Asat means temporary things. The mind is always attracted by asat, the temporary material existence. Because we have been associated with material nature since time immemorial, we have become accustomed to our attachment to this temporary material nature. We have to understand, my dear friends, that we have been attached to material things since time immemorial. Therefore, we have to be merciful to ourselves and forgive ourselves. when we make mistakes. If we feel that I am not making spiritual progress very fast, please forgive yourself. Have some mercy on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. When you see other devotees going through difficulties, when you see someone who is practicing Krishna consciousness for 30 years, 35 years, 50 years, and still having attachments, do not be surprised. Please. Prabhupada is saying, because we have been associated with material nature since time immemorial, we have become accustomed to our attachment to this temporary material nature. 50 years of Krishna consciousness is nothing compared to how much we have had material consciousness. So have mercy on other devotees who you see struggling. And if you find yourself struggling, have mercy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. Give yourself a chance. See where is the mistake and try to rectify. But don't give up. No matter how many fall downs, please don't give up thinking that the process is not working. It is like going to the destination, covering many, many miles, and then thinking destination is not coming, let's turn back. No, you are on the right path. Just keep going. Every Mahamantra you chant, every Bhagavatam class you attend, every morsel of prasad you eat, every time you have darshan of Krishna, every time you bow down to Krishna, every time you participate in Nam Sankirtan, you are making progress towards the right destination. The mind has to be fixed at the eternal lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Savai manah Krishna padaravindayo. And mind will go here and there. Chanchalai manah Krishna. The mind will go here and there. We have to not give up, but bring it back to Krishna's lotus feet. Bring it back. Srila Prabhupada is quoting Ambarish Maharaj's state of consciousness. Savai manah Krishna padaravindayo. We have to fix our mind on eternal Supreme Lord Krishna. Then everything will be very nice. Thus, the seriousness of Bhakti Yoga is stressed in this verse. In this verse, what is stressed? The seriousness of Bhakti Yoga. That Tivrana Bhakti Yogena Yajata Purusha Param. We have to worship Krishna with Tivrata. The intensity, seriousness of Krishna consciousness is stressed in this verse by Bhagwan Kapil Dev. Let's see what Bhagwan says in text 6. यमादिभिर्योगपथैरभ्यसान् श्रद्धयान्वितः मयि भावेन सत्येन मत्कथा श्रवणेन च. Very Amrit Vachan of Lord Kapil Dev. One has to become faithful by practicing the controlling process of the yoga system and must elevate himself to the platform of unalloyed devotional service by chanting and hearing about me. Direct instruction is given. By chanting about Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, we can elevate ourselves. And we have to practice Yama Adi. Yama means controlling the senses. Yama Adi bhi means beginning with Yam, Niyam, Asan, etc. Now let's see what Srila Prabhupada adds in the purport. Yoga, see, Yama Adibhir Yoga Pather, the path of yoga, which consists of Yam, Niyam, Ityadi. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, yoga is practiced in 8 different stages. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. 8. Yam and Niyam means practicing the controlling process by following strict Niyam, regulations. And Asan refers to sitting postures. You sit in different postures which are Anukul for sense control, Anukul for meditation. These help raise one to the standard of faithfulness in devotional service. The practice of yoga by physical exercise is not the ultimate goal. The real end is to concentrate and control the mind and train oneself to be situated in faithful devotional service. We have to practice faithful, means with Shraddha. Bhajate mam Dridhavrata, Shraddhayanvita. With great Shraddha, faith, we should worship Krishna. And for that, the yoga system is meant how it teaches us to control. Yam means to control the senses. No, I will not eat. I will fast. I will sit in one place. I will not go here and there. I will stay in a holy place, no matter what. These are all called Yam. Niyam. Controlling the senses by following the Niyam, regulative principles, the rules and regulations. Bhavena or Bhav See, here it is said, Mai bhavena satyena mat katha shravanena cha. You should hear my katha, you should speak my katha. How? Mai bhavena. So Srila Prabhupada explains, bhavena or bhav is very important factor in the practice of yoga or in any spiritual process. Bhav is explained in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, the first shloka of the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Buddha bhava saman vitaha. One should be absorbed in the thought of Krishna with love, bhav, with some feelings, not mechanically. When one knows that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the source of everything and that everything emanates from him, aham sarvasya prabhavaha matah sarvam pravartate, iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Then one understands the Vedanta aphorism, Janmadasya yatah. The origin source of everything is Krishna. Then he can become absorbed in bhav, which is the preliminary stage of love of Godhead. Bhav starts with Shraddha, ends with Prem, and bhav is just the stage before Prem. Shraddha, faith, sadhu sanga, association of devotees, bhajana kriya, practicing the process of bhakti, anartha nivritti, one is able to overcome the bad tendencies, bad habits, sinful habits. Then there is nishtha, the faith becomes very strong. Then there is ruchi, one gets taste in bhakti. Then there is asakti, there is strong attachment. Then there is bhav, which is the preliminary stage of love. The divine emotions for Krishna start arising. And then there is prem, the ninth stage. These are different stages. Rupa Goswami explains them. So one should practice bhakti with bhav, bhav bhakti. It's a very elevated stage, but we start with yam niyam. Understand? We start with basic rules and regulations. Srila Rupa Goswami explains very nicely in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu how this bhav or preliminary stage of love of God is achieved. Who wants to know how bhav can be achieved? How many of us want bhav? Haribol. Srila Prabhupada is quoting Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami states that one first of all has to become faithful. Ādav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangata Bhajana Kriya. First one has to become Shraddhayanvita, faithful. Now the question is, how does one get faith? Remember, we dealt the whole chapter in Jaiva Dharma. How that Shraddha comes, original Shraddha, where it comes from. You remember? Bhakti Poshak Sukriti. Shama Kishore Mata, you remember? Faith is attained by controlling the senses, either by yoga practice, following the rules and regulations, and practicing sitting postures, or engaging directly in bhakti yoga, as recommended in the previous verse. So where does Shraddha come from? Shraddha comes from practicing the limbs of bhakti. Where does Shraddha come from? Shraddha comes from practicing the limbs of bhakti. There are 64 limbs of bhakti. Just standing up to take darshan of the Lord, bowing down to the Lord, bowing down to Tulsi, eating Krishna Prasad. These are all limbs of bhakti. When somehow by the association of devotees we engage in these things, our bhakti comes. Shravanam, Kirtanam are limbs of bhakti. Somebody else says, Hare Krishna, and a non-devotee says, Hare Krishna. Pull diya, Hare Krishna. Srila Haridas Thakur was in ecstasy. When the Jallads who were beating him, as they were beating, Srila Haridas Thakur was saying, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And the leader of the Jallad was saying, Arey, you are not beating him properly. Beat him harder. He should stop saying Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Haridas Thakur went in ecstasy. He said, you just chanted Hari Bol. He chanted Hari Bol, Hari. Bhagwan Krishna just see, he chanted your name twice. Hari Bol, he said. They could not understand. But somehow when we come in association of devotees, we end up chanting Hare Krishna. And that Shravanam, Kirtanam, chanting, hearing, it is all going to lead to Shraddha, which is the first stage of a Bhakta on the progressive path. So Prabhupada clearly says here, Shraddha develops by engaging directly in Bhakti Yoga. Of the 9 different items of Bhakti, Navamida Bhakti, the first and foremost is to chant and hear about Krishna. Therefore, we invite neighbors, relatives, come, there is satsang, come. Ghar pe program hai, aa jao. They will come, they will sit, they will hear something about Krishna and their Shraddha will start developing. They may not even realize it. Shraddha will start developing. Mat katha shravanena cha. That is the process. Then we go to text 7. Sarvabhuta samatvena nirvairena prasangatah brahmacharyena maunena swadharmena baliyasa. In executing devotional service, one has to see every living entity equally. Bhakti means to see Sarvabhuta Samatvenam. That is called Bhagavad Bhav. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane kavi hastini shuni chaiva shva pakecha pandita samadarshina. To see everything on the spiritual platform. In executing devotional service, one has to see every living entity equally without enmity towards anyone, yet without intimate connections with anyone. When we went to Baltimore, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu said something very beautiful at Vamshivardhan Prabhu's home program. His Grace Radhesham Prabhu taught us that we don't have to isolate ourselves, but we have to insulate ourselves. Hare Krishna. We don't have to isolate ourselves, we have to insulate. Shamakishwari Mataji, that sounds little bit like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. Don't isolate, but insulate. We have to insulate ourselves because we cannot isolate. We cannot go and live in the forest. We have to live with people. We have to be surrounded by devotees. We live with family members. We go to workplace. We have to mingle with people. So we don't have to isolate, but we should insulate ourselves. Insulate. And Radhesham Prabhu gave a very nice example. He said, there is milk. Everybody knows milk here. Chirai Prabhu? Milk. We all know milk. What happens when you put water in milk? It becomes diluted. Now, one of the products of milk is yogurt, dahi. By churning dahi, you get cream. By heating that cream, you get clarified butter. Butter means cream. And clarified butter is ghee. So, ghee came from where originally? From milk. Everybody agrees? Ghee comes from milk. Now, you take a whole pot of ghee and you put water in it. What will happen? Will they mix? No. Ghee came from water only. But it will not mix. No matter how much water you put, it will not mix. It will remain separated. They may be in the same jar, but ghee will become separate, water will become separate. Ghee will not mix with water. Although it comes from milk, which will mix with water and get diluted. So similarly, a neophyte devotee is like milk. When he is mixed with the water of asatsang, unwanted association, the milk will get diluted. Their bhakti will get diluted in the neophyte stage. But an advanced Vaishnava, a pure Vaishnava like Srila Prabhupada, you put him with water of asatsang, non-devotee association, he will never mix with them. He will never get affected by them. He will say like ghee, separate from water. Even though that ghee also came from milk only. Neophyte devotee, pure devotee. A pure devotee also went through progressive stages. Adav, Shraddha, Sadhu. So at the stage of bhajana, kriya and all, asatsanga will have a great effect. Our bhakti becomes diluted when we don't have association. And when we get association, we become fired up, we become enthusiastic. But for a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, it doesn't matter. They are like ghee. They are made different. Their constitution is only different. They will not. Prabhupada came here, he was the only devotee in the whole continent, North America. But Prabhupada did not get affected one bit. But he affected so many others. So we have to insulate ourselves. Even while being in non-devotee association, we have to learn the art of becoming like ghee, where we don't get affected, we don't give our heart and become influenced by non-devotee association. Then Bhagwan Kapil Dev Muni is saying, without enmity towards anyone, yet without intimate connections with anyone. We don't want to hate them. We don't want to criticize them. But at the same time, we don't want to become influenced by them. That is called insulating, but not isolating. Further in the translation, one has to observe celibacy, be grave, and execute his eternal activities, Nitya Dharma, Jaiva Dharma, offering the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Look at the verse. Brahmacharyena. You have to practice brahmacharya. Maunena. We have to practice silence. Swadharmena. And whatever is our job. One may be a financial planner. One may be a tax consultant. One may be engineer. One may be a homemaker. One may be a doctor, lawyer. Whatever our profession is, whatever our dharma is there in this world, we have to perform it swadharmena according to our capacity, according to our swabhav. But baliyasa, we should offer the results to Krishna. Nishkam karma yoga, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5. Nishkam karma yoga. We have to do our job, but offering the result to Krishna. So this is what Bhagwan Kapil Dev is telling us. In executing devotional service, one has to see every living entity equally. We have to understand that ultimately everyone is a part of Krishna. Mamayamsha Jiva Loka, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We should not have enmity towards anyone. At the same time, we should not have too much intimate connection also. Too much intimate connection can also pollute us with non-devotees. One has to observe celibacy. Be grave, silent, maun, and execute our activities. Swadharma. Whatever our Swadharma, professional duty, whatever our duty is, offering the results to Bhagwan. You have to offer it to Krishna. That is the way to Baliyasa. Offering the results to Krishna. Now in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who seriously engages in devotional service is equal to all living entities. Because we see that everybody is Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahmane Kavi Hastin. We see that everybody is a Jivatma, a part and parcel of Krishna. Everybody is a soul. Further down, a devotee has no enmity towards any living entity, but that does not mean that he mixes with everyone. Please try to understand the difference here. Sometimes there is so much humanity. There is so much, my countrymen, my fellow human beings. I love everybody. I want to help them, that we become too attached. That is also not good. Like Bharat Maharaj became so attached to the deer, thinking that I am the Palankarta, I am the maintainer. That much attachment also is not good. We should do good and we should forget about it. In Hindi they say na, bhala kar darya mein dal. What is that? Something like that. Vamshidhari Gopal Prabhu. What is it? What kar and darya mein dal?
नेकी कर दरिया
हाँ, नेकी कर और दरिया में डाल. Do good and forget about it. Like that. A devotee doesn't mix too much with others. At the same time, does not have enmity. Rag, Dvesh, both are bad. You get it? Raga Desha, Vimuktascha. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. Rag, Dvesh, both are bad. Rag means too much attachment and Dvesh means too much hatred. Bhakti is all about balance. Suvarna Madhyam. Yuktahar viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasya, yukta swapna bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Bhakti is all about balance. Rag, Dvesh, both we don't want. We want to follow Madhyam path. That is prohibited. Aprasangataha means not to be in intimate touch with anybody. A devotee is concerned with his execution of devotional service and he should therefore mix with devotees only in order to advance his objective. See, one devotee got very angry with me recently because in a class I said that we should associate with devotees. We should avoid non-devotee association. He wrote me a very big email, very big message on WhatsApp. How what I'm preaching is wrong. But see, Srila Prabhupada is saying, look at Srila. A devotee is concerned with his execution of devotional service. If you are serious in bhakti, Prabhupada says he should therefore mix with the devotees only in order to advance his objective. He has no business mixing with others. For although he does not see anyone as his enemy, his dealings are only with persons who engage in devotional service. Very clear it is. So we should not isolate, we should insulate. Association means having intimate dealings. We should not do that. Now, Srila Prabhupada talks about celibacy. A devotee should observe the vow of celibacy. So, celibacy also has to be understood properly. There are again different degrees of celibacy, and Srila Prabhupada writes it. Celibacy does not necessitate that one be absolutely free. Hmm? Satisfaction within Grahastha ashram is also under the vow of celibacy. This we have to understand. But the best is to avoid altogether. Srila Prabhupada says. Read it for yourself. It's very clear. So, there is what I'm going to say now, please pay very close attention. There is a concept of midlife crisis. And typically it happens in the age group of 35 to 50. Sometimes even more. 35 to 55 is when even devotees can experience a midlife crisis. And one may get negative thoughts. One may end up breaking the regulative principles. One may temporarily give up the practice of Krishna consciousness also in a midlife crisis. Typically happens from 35 to 55. And I'll tell you what is the psychology of midlife crisis. Most of us came to Krishna consciousness in our 20s or 30s. And when we come to Krishna consciousness, we try to follow the four regulative principles, and we give up a lot of sense enjoyment. We are very strict, sometimes even fanatic. But when we hit midlife, 35 to 55, at some point in this period, one may feel that I had so many desires in my youth, in my teenage years, in my 20s, which I gave up because of Krishna consciousness. And now, when the body starts aging, you start putting on weight, you develop chasma, glasses. Body is not as beautiful as it used to be. We look at our pictures, oh, I had such nice hair before. जाने कहाँ गए वो दिन? What has happened? Now I have become fat. Now my hair is gone. Now my body is not as active as young. Now I cannot eat like I used to eat. Now if I eat at night, I get acidity. Now I have got diabetes. I have got high blood pressure. I am taking these medicines. When these things happen, one realizes that I am becoming old and I may die in a few years, in a few decades. And at that time, those desires which we had put into dormancy, those dormant material desires surface. And Maya attacks us by attacking our Krishna consciousness. Maya will make our crazy mind think that because of Krishna consciousness, you missed out. Nowadays, they call it FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. That, oh my God, life is passing by. You are going to soon hit the 50s. Then you will not be able to do these things. Chalo abhi kar lo, fatafat. Enjoy. Life begins at 40. That is the whole impetus for saying that life begins at 40 is midlife crisis. So it is a warning to all of us who are in that middle years of life not to fall prey to this mentality. Remain steady, remain steadfast in our Krishna consciousness and get help. If negative thoughts are coming, get help. But midlife crisis is a real thing. I have seen it in umpteen number of devotees, many devotees. Umpteen times it comes up in discussions. So we have to be careful, and there are ways to deal with it, and every case is individual. Someone may want to change ashram in the midlife crisis. Someone who has been brahmachari may want to enter grahastha ashram, or a grahastha may have an extramarital relationship during midlife crisis. That also happens very often. Or one may just decide to take a break from Krishna consciousness for some time. One may say that I want to just focus on my career. This Krishna consciousness. कचरा कर दिया मेरे करियर का मैंने. My friends have become CEOs. मैं ऐसे ही हूं इधर. All my ambition was destroyed by Krishna consciousness. Now I want to become ambitious. One devotee told me this. Now I want to become a multi-millionaire. बन के दिखाऊंगा प्रभु जी. फिर बाद में भक्ति करूंगा. ये सब बोलो मेरे को. But when I have few million dollars with me, तब बात करो. अभी बात मत करो. Now my mind is too occupied with becoming a millionaire. This devotee was in his 40s. So we have to be very careful of midlife crisis. It raises its ugly head in different ways in the lives of different devotees. Like I said, change of ashram, extramarital relationship, both for men and women, Matajis and Prabhujis. Rekindling relationships that were in school, high school, reconnecting with those friends, and then things happen. So all these things, we have to be very careful. It's all Maya. And we may not realize it is Maya, or we may know it is Maya, but we just want to rebel against Krishna consciousness because we are angry with Krishna. Krishna, यार 20 साल से आई एम चैंटिंग, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, कोई भाव नहीं है, कोई प्रेम नहीं है, कोई एडवांसमेंट नहीं हो रही है, अभी भी मटेरियल डिजायर्स है. दिस प्रोसेस डजंट वर्क. छोड़ो यार, छोड़ो, जस्ट लीव इट. I'll practice it later, or I'll give it up. I'll take a break from Krishna. This comes again and again. I'll take a break from Krishna consciousness. What if you die when you're on break from Krishna consciousness? Antakale chamame vasmaran muktva kalevaram. So one should take help. One should take guidance from a friend, from a counselor, or from any well-wishing devotee. If you are feeling that emotion of we have not accomplished anything, depression in this midlife. So, vow of celibacy. Prabhupada says we should observe celibacy. So, one thing that comes up is being too strict in the 20s in Krishna consciousness. Husband and wife become too strict with each other. Very strict celibacy within marriage, sleeping on the floor, practicing Krishna consciousness in a very imbalanced way. Both are on the same page, go ahead, no problem. But if there is imbalance, then that can manifest as divorce, bad relationship, then husband wife stay together only because of the kids. So all those things happen. There is no emotional bonding between husband and wife, even after being married for 15, 20 years. Those bad memories from before, how I was ill-treated, they keep resurfacing in the consciousness and spoiling today. The past haunts the present. That happens. So we have to very maturely deal with these negative emotions so that we can very favorably practice Krishna consciousness and keep making progress. Krishna consciousness is a progressive path. So these negative emotions should not be ignored, otherwise they will manifest in negative activities. We should deal with them, face them, deal with them. Why are they happening? What is the logic? And deal with them with the help of some friend or senior devotee. And then Srila Prabhupada says, after celibacy. So my point was that we should not be excessively strict in Grahastha ashram about celibacy. Prabhupada has indicated here that best is to be free, but within marriage is okay. Within marriage is okay. And if it can be followed by both, then great. But we should not impose and be too fanatic, because later on it may lead to a sour relationship. So we have to progress in bhakti together. Grahastha ashram means together. Otherwise, don't get married. You want to drive motorcycle and zoom, 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 go, then remain brahmachari. But grahastha ashram means you are in a family car. It's a minivan. It will go slow. It will go slow, but you have to be satisfied because you are not alone. There's family sitting with you. So that has to be understood. Next paragraph. A devotee should not speak needlessly. A serious devotee has no time to speak nonsense. He is always busy in Krishna consciousness. Whenever he speaks about Krishna. Mauna means silence. Silence does not mean one should not speak at all, but that one should not speak nonsense. Muni means not to speak nonsense. Mahamuni means to always speak about Krishna. Haribol. So this is Srila Prabhupada, and Bali Asa means offering our results to Krishna. Whatever he earns, whatever he eats, whatever he does, he offers for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of God. Srila Prabhupada writes that, the last sentence of the purport. Which verse of Bhagavad Gita it corresponds to? Yat karoshya dashnashi, yat juhosi dadasya, yat tapasyasi kaunte, tat kurushva madarpanam. Then, okay, so I'm really sorry. We could not cover too many verses, but what to do? These are very important verses, and every word that Bhagwan Kapil Dev Muni is speaking, they are important. So we'll stop here. We'll continue from verse number 8. Krishna willing, day after tomorrow. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Okay? Shama Kishori Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for the very nice class. Prabhuji, here we heard that we should not consider ourselves friends of all living entities. But in Canto 1, I think Parikshit Maharaj said that he wants to be, attached to, he wants to have rati for Krishna, and he wants to be attached to devotees, and he wants to be friends to all living entities. So why is that? Why is it said here that we should not have that emotion?
Correct. So there are two different aspects to the meaning of the word friend. One is that तितिक्षव कारुणिका सूर्यद सर्वदेहिना अजात शत्रव शांता साधव साधु भूषण. Sadhu is defined as one who is सूर्यद सर्वभूताना, just like Krishna. है ना? तितिक्षव कारुणिका सूर्यद सर्वदेहिना. So just like Krishna is Surid, a sadhu also is Surid, a friend of all living entities. That means we are well-wishers of others. The other meaning of the word friend is one who is going to benefit them, one who is going to give them pleasure, one who is going to uh, protect them, give them happiness. That we are not. Krishna is the friend. Krishna is doing all that, and he may use us as an instrument. That's what we should feel. And Surida Sarva Dehinam means same thing. We are well-wishers, but we are well-wishers on behalf of Krishna, not individually. That is it. You see the difference?
Yes.
We are friends, but we are friends because we are empowered to the extent we are empowered by Krishna. But
Okay.
we are not independent friends of anybody. If they see that, for example, if I see that Shamchandra Prabhu is such a dear friend of mine, it is because Krishna is empowering him to be that. Or if Shamchandra Prabhu thinks that Ādi Gadādhara Dāsa is a very good friend, it is because Krishna is empowering me to play that role in his life. So that hand of Krishna should never be forgotten. We should not think that I am a friend of Shamchandra Prabhu independent of Krishna. No. I can be a friend to him because to the extent that Krishna empowers me to be. Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. May I ask one more question?
Yes. We have missed your association in Bhakti Vaibhava, so.
No, I have missed everyone's
Hare
association.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, this is from Jaiva Dharma class a few weeks ago. I think it was mentioned that the Brahma Jyoti is important. This word was used. So, because it is also, an aspect of Krishna, how can it be important?
Important there means that it does not have the Shakti, Shaktihin. And here, the Shakti that we are talking about is the Karuna Shakti of Krishna, Hladini Shakti of Krishna, Leela Shakti of Krishna. These are all different energies of Krishna. What is that verse? Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Krishna has many energies. And those energies are not present, are not manifested in Krishna's aspect of Brahma Jyoti. The Karuna Shakti, the Leela Shakti, that is not there. Ladini Shakti. Of course, it is Sachidananda, Brahma Jyoti, but Ladini Shakti in the sense of Radha Dasyam, in the sense of becoming a maidservant of the maidservant of Srimati Radharani. That aspect is not there in Brahma Jyoti. So these Shaktis, Leela Shakti, Karuna Shakti, they are not there in Brahma Jyoti. That's why it is called Shaktihin or important in English.
Okay.
Thank you. It's not a derogatory remark towards Brahma Jyoti. It is just distinguishing Brahma Jyoti from the Bhagwan aspect. Who has Leela Shakti? Who has Karuna Shakti? like that. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shamchandra Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for bringing out the essence of the three verses today so nicely, because they are giving good, I would say, understanding for forming the basis of Krishna consciousness in our Grastha life also. I have a couple of reflections on this. I
Please.
just thought I will share.
Please, yes.
In the verse 5, where it is mentioned about the Bhakti Yogena Tivrena, I was remembering one very beautiful class of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. This is on verse 10, 4, 16, I think. And somewhere towards the end of that class, he says that a devotee, a practicing devotee, must always look for becoming serious and determined. And this he can do only by associating with a person who has those kind of qualities. So, and he was giving his own personal example by saying that all of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, or most of them, were basically worthless. But the moment they came in touch with Srila Prabhupada, who had these two qualities, that is, he was very fixed and also he was very determined. That is, what is that? Vaivasyatika buddhi. This complete resoluteness was there. And therefore, as a result, that transformation happened in them. So he was saying that we should always look for person. Only if a person has got these two qualities of being fixed and determined, he can pass on to the sadhakas. So that should be our first goal, he said. So that is what I was remembering when you were explaining about the Bhakti Yogena Tivrena point. And the other point, which is so beautifully explained about we don't have to isolate ourselves, but we have to insulate ourselves. Here I was thinking about the art of good parenting, actually. It's very easy for parents to say that I'll do homeschooling, and for parents to say that I'll put the children for some boarding school. Actually, in my opinion, personal opinion, homeschooling is isolation. It is not insulation. Whereas if a good alert parent can properly train the child and then expose the child even to the outside world by giving proper insulation, then that child will be much more, prepared for all circumstances and all situations. I mean, this is just, we can differ in opinions, but when you were talking about this, my mind flashed that what all can be the definitions of insulations and where all we can expand it to isolation and so on, because children are very innocent and parents can play a big part in thinking what is isolation for them and what is insulation for them. So this is what my reflection was on today's verse, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear Shamchandra Prabhu. You are exemplary parent, both you and Sundari Mataji, and we cannot wait to read the book that you are working on, the art of Krishna conscious parenting. Personally, I am looking forward to it, and I know many.
Please pray for me, and at some stage, it comes like an inspiration, and suddenly it fades away. In so many other sevas, it goes just dissolved and diluted. But I wish I can do something in this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll certainly pray, Prabhuji, because you and Sundari Mataji have brought up such two jewels of ISKCON, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu and His Grace Arjun Sakha Prabhu. Both very serious, very advanced Vaishnavas, and they are doing so much incredible service in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And so much credit goes to both of you. So we want to hear your personal realizations, and I personally very much look forward to that book. Haribol. Thank you for sharing your reflections. Hare Krishna. Last question, Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I had since Narsinga Chaturdashi just passed, I had a question about it. Somebody told me that they think Nrsimha Dev is an Ansh avatar. So
Is
if
a
you get Ansh avatar, Ansh,
Ansh avatar.
Ansh.
See,
So yeah,
ultimately,
so yeah,
all these
I referred,
all
but I
these
was
incarnations, ultimately,
yeah.
all these incarnations are Ansha only. Ete cha Amsha, Kalapumsa, Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. They are Swa Amsha. Jivas are Vibhinna Amsha, as we saw in Jaiva Dharma. They are Vibhinna Amsha. And Chaitanya Charitamrita also says, and Narsimha Avatar, Ram Avatar, Narsimha Avatar, they are all Amsha avatars. Ansha avatar in the sense that none of these avatars manifest all the divine qualities of the original personality of Godhead, Govindam Adi Purusham, Lord Krishna. So, in that sense, that Narsimhadev does not manifest Ras Leela, does not manifest Sakhya Leela, Vatsalya Leela. Therefore, he represents Lord Narsimhadev, although he is the Purna Purushottam Bhagwan, Lord Narsimhadev, don't think that he is just a fragment, not Ansha in that sense. Lord Narsimhadev is Purna Purushottam. He is Virya Purushottam, Lord Ramachandra is Maryada Purushottam, Lord Krishna is Leela Purushottam, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Prem Purushottam. They are all Purushottam. But they choose to display and manifest certain opulences of Bhagwan only. Therefore, they are displaying partial opulence of God. Lord Narsimhadev, Lord Ramachandra also. It's only Lord Krishna who enjoys all the rasas to the full. Rasik Shekhar is Krishna. Therefore, he is the complete manifestation of Godhead. Just like the moon. On the 12th day, the moon, 12th day of the waxing moon, the moon is gibbous, it's almost full but not full yet. 13th day also not. But on Purnima, it is completely full. That Purnima is Lord Krishna. Complete display of Godhead. Whereas Ram Avatar is that same moon. So even on the 12th day, Divya Mataji, even on the 12th day, the moon is full. But we are not able to see the full moon. We are able to see only the gibbous moon. On half moon night also the moon is full, but we are able to see only half. On Amavasya also the moon is full, but we are not able to see it. But we are not able to see it doesn't mean that Amavasya the moon is dead. It's gone. No, moon is there. Pratipad, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, all the way to Purnima, the moon keeps waxing. So there are so many avatars. Kapil Dev also is Bhagwan, Purushottam. But he is displaying Vidya Vilas. He is displaying his opulence of knowledge. He's displaying some Vairagya, being a Muni, Kapil Dev Muni. He's not displaying Sakhya, he's not displaying Madhurya. Correct? But that doesn't mean that he lacks it. He's choosing not to display. Just like the moon on the 9th day is choosing to display only that much brightness. Similarly, Lord Narsimhadev chooses to display a special feature, Bhakta Vatsalyata. I will protect my devotees. I love my devotee. And then he goes. It is Lord Krishna who displays everything. Therefore, Krishna is Purna Purushottam and others are also Purushottam. But they are displaying only a fragment of the opulences of Bhagwan Krishna. Like that. We have to understand it. We have to understand it. I hope that moon example is clear to you. Moon is full always, but it chooses to display certain opulences. Okay? So we will stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Jai Jai.